Hello everybody, welcome back to part 4 of What If Deku at Great Sage. Now, if you enjoy my content and you wish to see more, please like and subscribe, it'll really help me out. So now, without further ado, let's jump into it. The onlookers couldn't believe what they were seeing, but there it was anyway. Midoriya, the former class loser, was standing victoriously above two of the strongest boys in their year. But not only that, he had somehow managed to copy their quirks, combine them into a completely new one. Everyone stared at Midoriya's new ability, the shock whips, pulsing with a green energy as if to intimidate them. Everyone in the room knew that things would not be the same. Time skip. A few years later, Midoriya was sitting in his class, waiting for the decide his fellow students. Today, they were going to talk about their school applications. Naturally, Izuku wanted to go to UA. He still wanted to be just like his idol, All Might. That goal never stopped occupying his mind, nor would it ever. He still aimed to be the #1 hero. Across the room, he could see Bakugo staring at him. When their eyes made contact, Bakugo quickly turned his face to look outside the window. Izuku had always felt guilty about what happened a few years earlier. Ever since he had defeated Bakugo, he had become like a completely different person. A once outgoing and arrogant boy was now as quiet as a rock, only speaking when he was addressed by the teachers. And worst of all, their previously strained relationship had become non-existent, as he would constantly ignore him. Izuku had always held a large amount of guilt in his heart. He felt like he had broken his childhood friend. Before Izuku could continue to dwell on the change in Bakugo, he heard the door opening suddenly, and everyone's eyes turned to meet the teacher, who was walking in with a large stack of paper. Now, you're all third-year students, and you really need to start thinking about what you want to do with your lives and what career is best suited for you. Now, I was supposed to hand out these career aptitude tests, but why bother? I know that you all want to go to the hero course, he said while throwing the papers in the air. And as he was doing that, all the students stood from their desks and started using their various quirks. Yes, you all have very amazing quirks, but no power usage allowed in school. Everyone quickly calmed down and sat back at their desks. It would seem that two of your classmates have applied to UA. Everyone turned around to look at Bakugo and Midoriya, knowing full well that they were the only two strong enough to apply for a school as elite as UA. From the looks of it, you two have a very high chance of getting in. Your test results are both excellent, and you both have strong quirks. I think you'd make amazing heroes, said the teacher. Izuku responded with a thank you, and Bakugo gave a silent nod. School had come easy to Izuku, especially after he had gained the mental boost from Great Sage, which took him from a bright boy to a genius. He was easily able to memorize any sort of text from just looking at it once, and he was easily able to solve questions designed for students with more experience. After the school day had ended, Izuku walked down his usual path home, reflecting on his past few years. He hadn't had the opportunity to acquire any new quirks, because after the fight with Bakugo and the two boys, no one had dared to fight him again, fearing that their quirks would only be copied and add to Izuku's already immense strength. So Izuku stopped focusing on getting new quirks, but instead mastering the ones he already had. So, over the years, he would continue to practice in secret, training in the forest, and became very proficient in all the quirks and combo quirks that he possessed. Now, he could seamlessly change between them, and even equip multiple of them at once. He was now very proficient in all of them and could use them with very little effort, especially the quirk Explosion Wings, which used to be very destructive, was now tamed by him. Before he could continue to reflect on his progress, he suddenly felt something gooey and sticky climb his body. Before he could respond, his entire body was completely enveloped by some weird green slime. From within this entity, he could hear, "Sorry kid, but I'm gonna have to borrow your body for a while." Izuku couldn't believe it. His body was about to be taken over by this weird sludge villain. No, it can't end for me like this. I still have to be number one. As Izuku was losing consciousness, he made one last-ditch effort to escape. He released a large current of electricity that pulsed throughout the sludge villain. Luckily for him, it was very effective, as he could hear screams coming from outside his prison, and he could feel the sludge villain's grip on him slowly lessen. Realizing that this was very effective, he didn't let up. Izuku continued to pour more volts of electricity into the sludge villain, until finally the sludge villain let go of him. Izuku was able to escape, and as he was turning around, he was astonished to see that the sludge villain was on the ground, completely immobile, its body still twitching with random sparks of electricity. "I am here," yelled a strong voice coming from behind Midoriya. Izuku turned around slowly, a large smile plastered on his face, knowing that this could only be All Might. Izuku was paralyzed with joy, unable to say a word. Right in front of him stood his idol, the one he wanted to succeed as the number one hero, the one he wanted to surpass, the one he wanted to be just like, towering over him. Seeing that the boy wasn't going to say anything, All Might took this chance to speak. "Boy, I saw what you did to that sludge villain. I have to say, that's a mighty fine quirk you have there. You'd make an excellent hero if you were interested." As he walked to the sludge villain and put his body in a bottle that he was carrying with him, Izuku was losing his mind. His idol said that he could be a great hero. But before Izuku could return to his senses, he saw All Might jumping with the sludge villain into the distance. He could tell that All Might was in a hurry to get somewhere, and he had a pained look on his face. Izuku stood alone once more on the path. Damn it, I blew it.
Analysis complete.
Analysis of the quirk Sludge is now complete. And that's where I'm going to be leaving off for this episode. If you liked this part and you want to see more, please like and subscribe. And until next time.